What's up? What's up? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a member. And also hit them notifications so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos, all of my content, man. Good morning to y'all again, man. Stay on the grind as always. Shout out to the boy Omaha KC Kings. Uh, now, and shout out to the homie, the number one grinder or underrated darkness. If you haven't subbed to the number one grinder, Real Talk, definitely go sub to his channels. He's got two channels, Underrated Darkness and the number one grinder, Real Talk. So salute to my boy JT, man, LDBC affiliate, man. Now let's just go ahead and cut right to the chase, all right? Now, the Clippers are seeking a point guard. That's their direct prime objective, and that's their goal. Okay. And before y'all motherfuckers come up in here saying that I'm capping for the Clippers or I'm caping for the Clippers just because I talked about the motherfuckers yesterday, look, it don't mean a goddamn thing. Look, I'm just trying to give these motherfuckers their props. And well, yesterday I was at least, and giving them they just do for not having both of their superstars out. You know what I'm saying? It's a tremendous effort, and I believe in giving on this channel, giving teams or individuals they just do, even if that's not my favorite player or whatnot. You got to understand that shit. All right. Now, like I said, man, the Clippers are shopping for a playmaking point guard, and this is according to Kevin O'Connor. All right. The Clippers believe a starting point guard is the missing piece for to be a championship contender. Now, I sort of disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? That it'll put them in good position, but they still got a whole hell of a lot more to address too, besides just a playmaking point guard. Um, Now Eric Bledsoe and Serge Ibaka and Marcus Morris are available to acquire um, in in a shift for another floor leader, and the team has, they kind of view Reggie Jackson as just more of a scoring guard, which is true. He's more of a scoring guard than a pure point guard like a Rajon Rondo. And let me address this comment right here with Omaha. Now he brought up a good point. He said the Clippers have Rondo. Ty Lue didn't give him significant minutes. Now they want a PG. That's a damn good uh thinking of what you said. And although some people might take that as funny, that's the truth. That's what happened. They clashed. He didn't really give him, as many minutes as what he had liked. Also, two Ty lose sort of his defense. I'm not coming all the way of his defense, but he was looking at Rondo as more of a mentor to Reggie Jackson because as you could see, Reggie Jackson, his play stepped up in the playoffs, even when they were shorthanded. He played tremendous, man, and that's why he was able to, get that extension or whatnot, get the extension and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure Rondo in his mind felt like he could do, contribute a lot more, But Rondo, you know, it's not that his skills are a shell of himself or anything like that. It's his body. The man constantly stays hurt. If we're gonna sit here and we're gonna judge a guy like AD or judge some of these other guys who consistently stay hurt, Rondo's one of those guys. And trust me, I like Rondo. I like what he brings to his table, and I also like pure point guards. But at the same token, he can't play the amount of minutes like he once did. We're not talking about a Rondo that won the championship and was in his 10 years in Boston where he was consistently getting triple doubles and damn near 20 assists Rondo anymore. We're not talking about that Rondo or even a Rondo that was responsible for the championship for the Lakers. A couple of years back. Talking about Rondo that has been consistently hurt. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't take anything away from his skill or anything like that, his skill set. But in terms of his body, he got to be durable. Durability and availability is something significant. Now, Bledsoe is signed through next season, but his 19.38 million next season, it's only guaranteed for 3.9 million, and of course, Ibaka is making 9.7 million. Now, these are, according to O'Connor, these are what the Clippers might be uh, willing to part with. Okay, they might be willing to give up Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, Zubac, Preston, Boston Jr., Brandon Boston Jr., or Keon Johnson, right? And O'Connor also said that they are interested in playmakers such as Jalen Brunson, um, Dennis Schroeder, Kemba Walker, which I'm surprised about that, Gordon Dragic, Spencer Dinwiddie, who I talked about yesterday, and John Wall. This is very surprising because, now with Jalen Brunson, you know, that I could see Jalen Brunson or Dennis Schroeder. But Kemba Walker, a lot of people didn't want him at first, but now I think his value has kind of went up to where some teams are getting interested again, because remember they were trying to shop for Kemba Walker earlier, but they weren't interested in him, especially when he got into it with Tibbs and the whole benching situation. Gordon Dragic, he's aging right now. Uh, and plus he went through a lot off the court too as well. Spencer Dinwiddie, everybody feels like he's a shell of himself over there in Washington. What I talked about yesterday, they were saying that the teammates don't want to play with him, and also he's not gelling with Bradley Beal. And then John Wall, it's kind of the same thing. Is he going to be the same? Is he going to be able to actually be content with just being a primary playmaker, and also taking a step back role, because John Wall does have an ego. He feels like he should get more playing time and be a starter and everything. But he's gonna have to come within line of what the team is, and so that's interesting. And also you got to pay attention to the health too. To me, Brunson would be the best fit. Okay, Brunson would be the best fit. However, the Mavs are not gonna they're probably not gonna let him go 9 times out of 10. So we'll see what takes place, man. I definitely feel like the Clippers do have uh, a fighting chance. Despite them not having a superstar. And look, it's like what I said yesterday. A lot of people, they're not taking the Clippers seriously. You have to take a Clippers seriously. Listen, I'm gonna put to you like this. A lot of people feel like, if the Clippers happen to make the playoffs and they get in there, everybody feels like, oh, this is gonna be easy work. Nah, player, it's not gonna work like that. What's up with it, Stephen Green? I see you in the building. You said I agree on Brunson is the best fit for the Clippers. Yeah, absolutely. But see, the thing with Brunson, the Mavericks, they're gonna, of course, want something, in return. To me, the most beneficial player on the Mavericks is Brunson, but nobody talks about that. When I say the most, when I say yeah, what's up with it? See, when I say the most beneficial, that doesn't necessarily mean the most skillful player, the best player, or any shit like that. I'm talking about, the most beneficial. If you take that guy off the floor, well, guess what? And then Tim Hardaway Jr., you see what happens, the sort of collapse that happened too. So you need guys like that. Luca, yeah, while he could score and he's seen as the best player and everything, it doesn't mean that he's the most beneficial out there on the floor. You need a leader, you need a playmaker, and I think it would be a good opportunity for a guy like Brunson to go out there. He doesn't have to worry about all of the pressure, all of the nonsense, and all that other stuff. You know why? Because there's no egos. With the Clippers, at least at this point, because you don't have any. You don't have no superstars. Everybody got to dig deep within themselves. You know, and I think it would be a good move, but we'll see what happens. It's not set in stone, and nobody has really said anything. You said, should the Clippers get a power forward or center? What's your opinion? Well, look, right now a lot of teams, believe it or not, Stephen Green, they're so focused on cutting the big man out. They have Zubac. I don't think Zubac right now is 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 good for them, and then they also have um Serge Ibaka. You know, Now, Serge Ibaka at one point in time, to my knowledge, he was kind of unhappy, but they kind of shopping for him or whatnot. Um, you know, I like to me, you keep a guy like Zubac because I was looking at that game when they played against Denver, and he was definitely going at Jokic. Of course, he held his own against Jokic, and I've always looked at um, well, not Serge Ibaka, Zubac as a scorer, especially when he was in L.A. You didn't really, I mean, he never really got the respect or the just due, and Zubac brought a lot to the table. But they got rid of him or whatever, and then he ended up going to the Clippers or whatnot, and now here we are today. Now, you brought up about a power forward. We got to think about it. Now, Serge Ibaka and Nicholas Batum, they are aging. They getting their 30s, and I already mentioned Marcus Moore, who sometimes he's primarily a small forward rather than a power forward, but he's getting up there too. But Justice Winslow, he's capable of doing stuff. He's listed as a power forward. So I say you stick with that. Maybe get another a younger player in the midst, but you want to stick with some of the guys that you got on there. I would definitely stick with a guy like Zubac. I've always liked Zubac's game, even though he gets hardly no credit, and plus he's still young. He's 24 years old. I think people think that Zubac is like in his 30s or something like that. No, he's 24. So um, that's just my take on it. You know, Somebody else's opinion, might be different. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to come in and give your thoughts on it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. They, you know, they had a game last night in which they actually had the game. They were very close, but they ended up losing. They lost to the Pacers. And it wasn't by much, but for much of the game, it was very competitive. Now, the big thing is going to see, or that a lot of people are anxious to see, is what's going to happen on Thursday, because it's the Battle of LA. It would be the Clippers versus the Lakers, and I'm waiting on that game. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of streams going, brothers in the LDBC going at it, all the Clippers and Lakers fans and everything. It's going to be interesting to see. The link is in the chat, Stephen Green. It's in the chat, man. Um, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see. You said is Miles Turner getting traded? We'll have to see. I had I had looked at that. They were shopping for Miles Turner. At one point, but I know that you know he right now he wants to from what I've been told. Um, he he's a target for the Hornets. The Hornets are interested in Miles Turner before the trading deadline. Also, some possible destinations for him would be the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves are hooping last night. Shout out to Ticket because he put that in perspective last night. He was talking about uh, Karl Anthony Towns, and I think that Miles Turner would benefit playing with the guy, or even Karl Anthony Towns would benefit with playing with a guy like Miles Turner. People forget that Miles Turner, man, can do a lot, man. He can step out and hit the either the occasional three or even the mid range. He got moves down low, and he has very good hands. He's got very good footwork for his size. I've seen Miles Turner play in person. You know, he's really skilled. Some of y'all think that like these 6'11", 7 foot guys are clumsy and all this other stuff when you look at them from afar. But when you get up in person and stuff, and you realize how quick they are, how mobile they are, and how they can pick and pop and everything, then you'll be amazed. But some of y'all, like I said, you pay attention to the game from like a video game type of perspective, and that's not how you're supposed to pay attention to them. You got to really be up close. Some of y'all, I really wish that y'all would go and actually go. Some of y'all never been to an NBA game. Some of y'all have never been to a college game. Some of y'all have never even stepped on foot on the floor with with nobody, with that size or anything, and you'll be in awe of how skilled some of these guys are. Even at like 6'7" or 6'8", you would think that guy, oh nah, man, get down low and dominate a guy that's only 6'2" or something like that. Nah, they're gonna step out and they're gonna be just as quick, just as agile, and just as fast as another guard. So Stephen Green, I sent the link, man. I don't know if you want to come in, man. I don't know if you were doing that just to, you know, you saying send that link and everything. Were you talking about the link in terms of getting in to chop it up, or were you talking about the link in terms of the report? But either way, man, that's all I got, man. Uh, Leave your comments, like the video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at you later.